Yes, my good cat. Well trained. That's how you achieve perfect purr. Purr, 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 purr. I think this cat needs brushing.
Funny you mentioned that, because today's video is all about tips for cat brushing. So it doesn't always have to be a chore, and today we're going to give you some tips and tricks on how to make it enjoyable for your cat. And for you, of course. Our trusty Cat It brush kit is something that we've talked about many times, so we'll link it down below for you, and we'll link a video up here as well so you can watch that too. But we will be using this today. It's not all about the brushes today, it's more about the techniques that you can use. First of all, before we get to the how, we should talk about where. Our favourite place and our cat's favourite place is outside, but obviously you can't always be outside when the weather is not that good. But here is just a perfect spot for them to get a little bit distracted with the noises, the birds, and then enjoy the sunshine, and most of the time they can just walk around or sit in one place, and it's just the perfect way to brush your cat. Another advantage is that you don't get all of that fur in your house, you keep it outside, so sometimes we even close the balcony door to make sure that no fly floof gets inside, and then we just collect it in that little bin here. So yeah, that's probably the
Fluff.
yeah, that's probably the tidiest way, and that's why we enjoy being outside.
The weather isn't always as nice as today, so sometimes you need to get creative. We found that Bluebell loves to spend time in the bathtub. Sometimes he jumps in the shower, and he also loves to get brushed in here. Bathtub turned out to be a great place to do some brushing because it's super easy to clean afterwards. So instead of doing it in our living room where the hair would go all over the house, we can just close the door to the bathroom and quickly wash off the excess hair with the shower head.
Really, there is no point trying to brush your cat on the sofa if your cat never spends time there. So if they like a place or an object, so like a scratcher, you can always try brushing there. And we are also in the kitchen because Pixie is very much treats motivated. That's something we're going to talk in detail a little bit later on. But if she's here next to the treats cupboard, she's very happy to be brushed. So choose a spot where your cat will actually enjoy the brushing, and this combination is perfect for rainy days for us. Now, once you have your perfect spot, we can talk about the techniques. So of course it is best to get your cat used to brushing from the very young age, because it just makes it easier for you, but by all means it's not impossible to teach an adult cat to enjoy brushing process. What we did with ours, when they were kittens, they used to attack the brushes because I think they kind of thought it was maybe a toy. So we were brushing them very gently when they were very sleepy, and that way they just kind of got used to the feeling of the brush and didn't really associate it with playtime. If your cat doesn't really enjoy brushing, it's best to introduce the brush to them before you actually start stroking them. So let them smell it, let them see it, and just like get themselves familiar with what is going to happen. Tip number 3 is to test different brushes. So for example, this one works really well for Pixie and she actually really enjoys it, and this one works really well with Bluebell. So test different brushes just to find out what your cat likes, what you like, and what most importantly takes the most hair out of them. Tip number 4, and a very important one, is to use the technique of brushing and petting at the same time. So you do a pet stroke and a brush stroke, and you can just alternate that all the way through. So this way you can control your cat a little bit better and apply a little bit of pressure, making sure that your cat actually stays in place, and also it's just a little bit more enjoyable for your cat because it's associated with pet time. Tip number 5, don't get scared of putting too much pressure. I actually found that the more pressure I put on the cat, obviously like reasonable amount of pressure, the more they stay in place and the more they enjoy it. If I just go and very gently stroke Bluebell, he will just walk away very quickly. So when I just go like this, she will just walk around, but as soon as I apply more pressure, she will most likely sit down, or sometimes they just lie down and just like flop on here. See, she's just sitting now and really enjoying her brush session.
Tip number 6. Once you're satisfied with your brushing and you think your cat is ready to go, there's one more thing you can do to avoid like individual hairs getting dropped off the cat inside of the house. So I think I invented this. I haven't seen anyone doing it before. So I get my hands a little bit wet. That's why we have the bowl with water. I don't want them like dripping with water. I want them just moist. And then I'm just going to run my hands through Bluebell. He doesn't realize that they wet just yet, but I'm collecting quite a lot of like loose hair that's like sitting on him. There we go. And then all of this is on my hands. I'm just going to roll it like this, and there we go. That's off my hands now, and it's going in the container with the rest of the fur. And then you repeat a couple times until barely anything comes out. You never get like nothing come out because you start pulling out more hair from the cat, so you could do it constantly and just give him a bath, but that's not the point here. You just want to collect the loose hair that's sitting on him.
Tip number 7 is to always reward your cat with a little snack at the end. That way they will associate brushing with something positive, so it's really important to be consistent with it. And of course, we're going to use Cosmo Snacky's whitefish.
Oh, hello.
Hey, he was a good kitty. Ah, there we go. Hey, it's your favorite. Pixie.
One cut.
Pixie. So that is all we prepared for today's video. Thank you so much for joining us here. If you haven't subscribed just yet, please click the button below and help us grow this channel. We hope to see you in our next video soon. Bye!
More treats.
Okay, you're gonna get one more.